Very interesting video right now. We got History Matters with why wasn't the British Empire ruled by a British emperor? You know, the British Empire, one of the biggest empires in the whole entire world. Let's see what this is about and why there was no emperor.
When someone rules an empire, they normally take the title emperor or empress.
Yep.
Yet, despite having a pretty chunky empire, the
Makes
British
sense.
monarchs were never styled as the British emperor or empress. Which raises the question,
Why?
why? Why wasn't the British Empire ruled over by a British emperor?
Weird.
Now, it's important to note that most emperors didn't simply convert their title from that of a king. Many had adopted it on top of their previous titles, and others did so after major change in government. Furthermore, it often claims to be the continuation of a previous imperial title. Britain never had any of this, and so there was no pretext to change the royal title when their role and the type of government that they led was the same as always. In fact, when there was a major change by the monarch, that of Henry VIII declaring England's separation from the Catholic Church, it was written into law that England was effectively from that point onwards an empire, and that Henry and all of his successors would carry the rights and status of emperors but would simply use the title of king instead.
Right, fair enough.
Another reason was somewhat more particular to Britain. You see, after the 17th century, the British developed an extreme allergic reaction to absolute monarchy, and a title like emperor screams, "I'm a king of kings and thus in charge and won't be sharing much power with anyone," which to Parliament was a no-no. Another reason was that Britain itself wasn't seen as being some multi-ethnic empire in the same way as Austria-Hungary was, but in the eyes of its rulers, Britain was a nation of nations who were all equal. Theoretically at least, in practice not so much. This is one of the reasons why George III, when offered the title of British Emperor in 1801, refused it. And another was because he was
Oh shit, he was actually offered the title? Oh wait, what the bro? Hey, listen, if you're offered the title, you gotta be the first British emperor, bro.
Of the Holy Roman Empire at this point. And so an emperor electing another emperor whom he would hold some allegiance to was just a bit silly. This wasn't the last time that the topic of imperial titles would come up. You see, as of the 1870s, there were a lot of emperors in Europe, and the title of emperor outranks that of king or queen, which upset Britain's Queen Victoria, who didn't want to be seen as everyone's inferior. At this point, a monarch adopting an imperial title with respect to Britain was unacceptable, and so the sitting Prime Minister, Benjamin Disraeli, offered to give a different imperial title, that of Empress of India. The reason why this was okay was that 1. India was the crown jewel of the empire, and the one which Britain was most proud of. 2. It was made up of many smaller kingdoms and principalities, and so the title could maintain the implication that it meant King of Kings. And 3. India and its people weren't seen as being equal to those of Britain, and so absolute rule over them was just fine. But why not extend it to the rest of the empire? Well, much like Britain, places like Canada and Australia had the same anti-authoritarian position. And as for the rest of the empire, well, it wasn't seen as being prestigious enough to warrant the title of emperor. There was still opposition to the title from many liberal politicians, but it was brought into force in 1876, and Victoria's successors would all thereafter be emperors of India until its independence.
Well, low-key, there was an empress, but it just wasn't. It was only for India.
1947, which is why Britain and the British Empire didn't have an emperor, but only one part of it, India, did, and for just over 70 years. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Actually, really good, interesting video. It would have been pretty cool, you know, just to say that we did have an emperor. Because I fucking, for some weird reason, I love emperors. I don't know why. But really, really, really good video. Enjoy that one. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video.